dimensions, okay, in the today class. Okay, so let me go for this slowly changing dimension. And why and what is the concept of this slowly changing dimension is, so let us say dimension means, usually the dimension means master tables. The master tables are called as dimension tables. Okay, so now let me show some sample data. So let me show some sample data. Okay, so this is my okay, so this is my employee master table. Okay, so in which I have column names like employee is a name, designation, date of join, age fields is there, and some employee details. Let us say two employee details. Okay, so at the time of joining, okay, so both are joined as a software engineers. Okay, both are joined as a software engineers. Okay, now after 2 years, the employee one designation is changed from software engineer to, let us say, senior software engineer. Okay, senior software engineer, like this. Okay, so after 2 years his designation got changed, he got promoted. And again after 3 years, this employee got promoted to, let us say, team lead position. Okay, team lead position. Now after getting promoted to team lead, after serving as 1 year in that position, so he resigned the company. Okay, he resigned from the company. Okay, now if anybody come and see this data, let us say any auditor people or any other people come and see this data of employee one, what they will assume, what they will think. So they will think like employee, he's joined in the position of team lead and he resigned as a team lead. He joined as a team lead and he resigned as a team lead. But that is not the actual case, no? He joined as a software engineer and he got promoted to senior software, and then he got promoted to team lead. Okay, so then how we can maintain those information. Okay, so whenever any information got updated, okay, got modified, we need to maintain the history. We need to maintain the history. And this is history maintenance for which table? For the master table, no? Master tables, another name for master table is dimension. Another table for master is dimension. Okay, and this master table data, will it changes very frequently? No, no. So here in this case, you can see his designation won't change every month. Okay, it can be changed after 2 years or 3 years, like that. So the master table changes are slowly happening. Okay, it's not a frequent changes. Okay, so his age can be changed after 1 year, and you can see this date of join never changes. Okay, so this table, master table data, okay, will change slowly. Okay, so that's why they have given that name like slowly changing dimension. Okay, so whenever the data changes that too slowly, we need to maintain the history for these master tables. Okay, so to maintain the history, okay, so we'll go and create some master table, employee master history table. Employee master, let me create one more table to maintain the history. Okay, so in this table we should have the columns like whatever the columns we have, the same columns we will maintain the history table also. Okay, along with these columns we will maintain, let us say, I want to maintain the history in a single column, let us say active column. Okay, to see which record is active. So after creating the table structure, I will call this, copy this columns data records. I will copy the records. But right now, so let us say in the earlier first he is joined as a software engineer. No? So he will be having the designation as software engineer. Okay, and these two are active. Yes, right now these two are active. And now whenever his designation is changed from software engineer to senior software engineer, that is SSE, senior software engineer, so I will insert one more record. I will take this new change record and I will insert one more record in the history table, and this is the latest one. No? I will give this one as active record, and for the previous one I will make this as inactive. I specify it as 0. Okay, like this. And now whenever his designation again changed from SSC to team lead, okay, then I will take a copy of this record, okay, and I will go and insert one more record with the team lead, and this I will make it as 1, and the previous one for the same employee, previous one I will make this as inactive. Okay, so if I want to get the latest records, I can go and write a condition like where employee active is equal to 1. So I will get the latest records, and as well as if I want to see the old ones, you can see if any auditor come and see the data, so then they can easily understand that okay, employee 1 has got 3 stages, joined as SS, SC, SSC and team lead. Now they can understand okay, this employee has undergone 3 stages. He joined as SC, SSC and team lead, like this. Okay, so this is one type of maintaining the history. Okay, this is one type of maintaining history in a single column. Okay, now is this sufficient? If I store the history data like this, so will it give me the full information or any missing details are there in this? If I store like this, can anybody guess? So if I store the information like this, what will happen? Okay, I will know the his designations and when he promote, how he is, in which designation he was earlier, like SC, SSC and like that. But if I store the data, history data like this, will it giving me the in which period? Okay, he joined as a SC, that is okay. So how many days he has served as a SC position? And again next he got promoted to SSC, you know. So at what date he got promoted and how many days he was in that position? Is that information is available now? No. So the period is missing here. In which period he served as a SC, in which period he served as a SSC, and when he got promoted to team lead, all those details are there? No. It is just showing which is active, which is the latest ones, and what is the previous stages. So if you want to know the period information also, then what are the type of storing the information is? Okay, another type of storing the information or creating a history table is, so let me create one more history table. Okay, employee master history. So instead of creating the history table like this, I will create a history table like this also. This is the table columns. Okay, this is the table columns. Along with these columns, what I can do is I will maintain the history now like start date and end date columns. So instead of a single maintaining the history in a single column, I will maintain the history in a two columns. I will maintain the history in two columns now. Start date and end date. Okay, so what will happen is, so initially they were in the, he joined as a software engineer, no? So I will take these two data. Okay, initial backup I will do like this. And for both of them, so let us say his start date is his date of join. His start date is his date of join. Okay, and end date is, so they are still serving in this role, then end date will be null. For in both the records, end date will be null. Why? Because they are still serving in this role, software engineer. Now, when the first employee got promoted to from senior engineer to software engineer to senior software engineer, I will have a record. I will have a record in the history table also. Okay, and let us say he got promoted. So he joined in the 2007. No, so let us say he got promoted in 2009. Okay, so he got promoted in the 2009. Okay, so from SC to SSC he got promoted in the 2009. Now this date will be the last date for the previous one. This date will be the last date for the previous software engineer role. Okay, and currently he is serving in this SSC role. No? Then for this any date will be done like this. Okay, if I want to see the latest status, I will go and write a query like where any date is done. Okay, like this. And suppose if we again designation is changed from SC to team lead. Okay, then what I can do, I can copy this entire record. Okay, and I will go for, okay, he got changed to team lead, and let us say he got promoted to team lead on, let us say 01 2012. He got promoted to team lead on 2012. Okay, so I will give that as a start date, and for the previous designation this will be the end date. No, so this should be updated for the previous record, and for the current status, current designation, this end date will be. Okay, so if I store the information like this, then I will get, okay, if I go for employee one, I will get, okay, he served in the these three positions, and in this designation software engineer, he served from 2007 to 2009, he served as software engineer, and from 2009 to 2012 he served as senior software engineer, and currently is in the position of team lead. So this will give me the full picture. No, I can easily tell the range also, in which period he served on which role. Okay, we can maintain the historical data. Okay, we can maintain the historical data in two ways. One is by using a single column and by using these two date columns. Okay, so these two maintaining of history, if you maintain the history like this, these two will come under the SCD type 2 change. Okay, so we have three types under the SCD. We have three types: SCD 0, SCD 1, and SCD 2. Okay, now if you maintain the history like this in a single column, under SCD 2 again it has two types. So maintaining the history using a single column, that is active column, or we can maintain the history using two date columns. So these two type of maintenance will come under the SCD type 2 changes. Okay, and for which columns, okay, so here you can see whenever the designation name changes, what we are doing, we are inserting a new record. With that changed value, we are inserting a new record in the history table. No? So this type of columns which comes under the, which requires the SCD type to change, will be called as, okay, historical attributes. For which, why this column name is called as historical attribute is, why? Because whenever a value of this column is changed, we are inserting a new record in the history table. Okay, and we are maintaining the history of that column. We are maintaining the history of that column, no? So that's why these attributes, okay, these columns will come under the SCD type 2 column, and this column will be called as historical attribute column. Okay, like this. Okay, now let us say this employee ID. So let us say for the employee ID 2, so by mistake the HR guys has done some typo error when they are entering in the employee master table. So his name is actually, let us say, some Ramesh. Let us assume his name is some Ramesh. So let me here also, let me make it as, actually it should be Ramesh. Okay, so they have made an error like, and they have entered like Ramesh. Yes. So instead of E, they have typed the A, but actually his name should be Ramesh like this. Okay, and he has raised a request, hey, my name should be Ramesh, but it is, instead of E, A is there. So what they will do, they will go and modify this column data. Okay, so they will, in the original table, in the master table, they will go and modify the table data like this. Now for this column change, do I need to maintain a separate record? So do I need to maintain a separate record like this? So the column name, employee name is changed. Now for that, do I need to maintain a separate record in the historical table? No, no. I can just update the existing column data in the historical table also. So instead of inserting a new record for the name column change, I can directly go and change this column data in the historical table also. That is fine, no? No need to maintain history, no, for the change. Okay, so this type of changes will come under the SCD type 1. This type of changes, where if any data changed in the original table, we are not inserting the new record, we are just updating the existing data. So these type of records will come under the SCD type 1. This type of changes will come under the SCD type 1, and these columns which fell under the SCD type 1 category, those columns are called as changing attributes. So those columns are called as changing attributes. Okay, those columns are called as changing attributes. Okay, now let us say, then what is SCD0? Okay, SCD2 means, that is maintaining the historical record, means inserting a new record. SCD1 means we can, if any data is changed in the master table, we can directly go and update in the historical table also. This comes under the SCD type 1. Then what is SCD0? SCD0 means, okay, so if anybody tries to update this date of join, okay, I should not accept that change, even though it is allowed to even though it is uh, updated in the original table, I should not accept that change. So whose column data is fixed? Okay, if anybody tries to update the data of joined column, I should not accept that change in the historical table. Okay, so whose column data are fixed? Okay, so if anybody tries to change this, let us say by HR people, okay, so they just want to update this data. Okay, so actually there are correct data is there, but by mistake they want to update this column data, let us say from 2006 to 2008. Okay, now this change I should not accept in this historical table. I should not go and update this 2000 here also to 2008. Okay, why? Because this column data we should not allow to update, we should not allow to modify. Okay, so that's why, okay, we should not accept that change in the historical table. So for which columns the data is fixed, those are comes under the SCD0. Okay, so if anybody tries to update that change, update that column value, I should not accept that column. Those columns, okay, are called as SCD0 columns or fixed attributes whose data is fixed. Whose data is fixed. Those columns are called as fixed attributes. If anybody tries to change on the master table, I should not accept the change in the historical table. This type of change will come under the SCD0. Okay, understood? So this is called as SCD concept, slowly changing dimension concept. Any doubts? Okay, is everybody understood? Okay, so this is called as SCD, slowly changing dimension. Let us see how we can achieve this. Okay, how we can achieve this in the SSIS. Okay, so let me go for. So I have taken a data flow task. Okay, let me see anything is there inside. So let me take one data flow task. So let me go for this slowly changing dimension. Okay, so let me create first of all a historical table for this. So let me connect to the DBGroup database. Okay, so let us say take some table. Okay, so let me take some 5 records. Okay, and create some master table data. Okay, okay, just for explaining purpose. So we have already this is there. Let me see the log data. Okay, so let me take this table as the master table. Okay, okay, so in this table I have some 5 records. Okay, for this table I want to maintain a historical data. Okay, so now let us go and see. So let us go for first one, that is SCD type 0. Okay, so SCD0 means, so for any column if I set it as a fixed attribute, that change should not happen. Okay, so first of all let me create some historical table. Okay, so let me take a copy of this table and only data, only the columns I need, column names I need to copy. Okay, but not the uh, entire data. Okay, so let me create one historical table with the name table underscore emp details. Okay, history. Okay, I just want to take only the data, only the schema, but not the data. So where I will give some condition, false condition. So now you can see that a table will be created with this name. Okay, so now you can see we have two columns here. Okay, two tables here. This is my original table, and I want to maintain history of this table. Okay, so now let us go for this, and let us say let me pass the source table. Let us pass the source table. Where will be source? Okay, now let me pass the our original table. So let us say emp underscore details. So and you can go and preview the data. So we have five records is there, five employee data is there. Okay, now let me pass this five records into the slowly changing dimension attribute. Okay, so welcome to the slowly changing dimension. So here you don't need to write any logic or queries, just we need to make use of the tool. That's it. Okay, so go to this welcome wizard. Now select a dimension table and the keys. Okay, we have to just select our okay dimension table. So we are already passing the source data. Okay, in which table we are need to store the data, in which table we need to maintain the history, select the history table here. Okay, so these are all the columns coming from the source, and this is the columns coming from the historical table. Okay, and we need to compare those two tables, no, whether that particular record exists in the history table or not. Okay, so we need to compare the source table and the historical table data, no. So for comparison purpose, which column you are want to use, which column you want to select as a mapping column, then so here I want to, when I want to compare these two table, I want to compare with the employee column. So select this employee column as a business key column. Okay, so this is using this column I can compare these two tables. So at least one business key column should be required. At least one. We can have multiple also, but at least one should be there. Now go to next, and first of all populate all the dimension columns. Okay, I have populated all the dimension columns. I've just selected the columns which are coming from the history. Now you can see that we are going for, as I told you, we have the three different types of columns. No? So SCD0 means fixed attributes whose data is fixed. So here also you can see we have, you want to select this column as a fixed attribute. We have three options. Either you can select this column as a fixed attribute, or changing attribute, or historical attribute. We can have three columns. If you select any column as fixed attribute, so if you let us say date of join, I want to select it as fixed attribute, then what is the meaning of fixed attribute is select this type when the value in a column should not change. Changes are treated as errors. Select this type when the value in a column should not change. Okay, so let me make every column as a, so we are explaining the SCD0 now. Let me make every column as a fixed attribute. To next. So right now I have only fixed attribute columns. Do you want to fail the transformation if changes are detected? No, I don't want to fail, but I want to just ignore. No? Then deselect that one. Go to next. So do you have any dummy records? So do you want to consider those dummy records? Dummy record means sometimes at the time of creating a table, so we will insert a dummy record with all null values or with all zero values like that. So if any record was there with all null values or zero values in each and every column, do you want to consider those records for comparison purpose? No, I don't want to consider those dummy records. Okay, go to next. Now this is a summary section. So it is creating two inputs. All the new records will be inserted into the new record output, and if any changes happen, that records will be happened into the separate output. Finish. That's it. So now you can see that based upon your selection, it is going to create a design the package for you. It is going to design the package for you. So now you can see what is this slowly changing dimension will do is SCD0 will do is if any new record is there, it will just push it. And if any changes happen, it should not accept that change, no? So that's why the changing output column extra package extra task is not coming here. Okay. Now let us see. Now in the source table we have some data and the historical table is empty now. Now in the first time when I execute this, okay, first time it will treat every record as a new record and it will push the data into the new output. So now we can see all the 5 records will be pushed into the historical table. So now you can see all the 5 records are pushed into the historical table. Okay. So now you can go and see in the destination table also. So you can see all the 5 records are pushed into the historical table. Okay. Now let me try to update the date of join. Okay. So let me try to update the original table, that means my master table, emp details set date of join, okay, equal to, so let us say for this employee it is first employee it is 2015-0101, no clone, let me update with 2016, okay, for employee 1. So I'm doing some changes in the source table, okay, in the master table. Now let us see whether this SCD0 will accept that change or not. So now here you can go and execute this. So we have done some updation, no? So that record, that updation won't get pushed into the historical table. So now we can see from the source, so only 5 records are coming. Now is that change updated in the historical table? Now we can go and see in this historical table. Okay, even though in the source it is 2016, the historical table it is not updated. Okay, now we have one more option called if you detect any changes, do you want to fail the transformation? So if it detects with this data of join fixed attribute now, so if it detects that changes, do you want to fail the transformation? That also we can set. You can go and see. So now it will detect some change, no? Now it will fail the transformation. So now you can see when it detects the changes, it is failing the transformation. Okay, so we have two options, either you can fail or you can ignore the change. Okay, this. And coming to SCD type 1, so let us say, so type 1 is, so if you want to update the column, okay, so I don't want to insert a new record if let us say some name is changed. So let us say employee ID 4, now it is madam is there, okay, employee name, I want to update it to something like Madan like that. Instead of M, I want to update it as Madan Kumar like this. Okay. So whenever a change happened in the employee name, it should go and update the record in the historical table also. And similarly, let us say his branch information, okay, is modified from 400 to 2, let us say from 500. Okay. So whenever any update I see, I just want to, for these two columns, I don't want to insert a new record, I just want to update this data in the historical table. So those if you are updating, those changes will come under the SCD type 1, and those columns are called as changing attributes. No? So now we can go and see that. So I will make employee name as changing attribute, and similarly we have branch ID. Let me make it as changing attribute. Okay. Now what is the meaning of changing attribute means? Select this type and changed values should override the existing values in the historical table. This is a type 1 change, SCD type 1. Okay, now go to next. Now, do you want to fail the fixed attributes? No. And for changing attributes, here, change all the matching records, including the outdated records. Suppose if you have a two records for this same employee in the historical table. So for this employee ID 4, okay, there are two records in the historical table. Let us say his designation is changed, then it will have two records, no? So for employee 1, how many records are there in the history table? We have three records. So whenever his name is changed, let us say his name is changed from Ravi Kumar to, let us say, Ravi Kumar M. Okay. So with along with initial. So this change should only apply for only the latest record or for the old records also. Yes, I want to apply for all the records. Not only for the latest record, I want to apply for all the records. That is what it is asking here. Change all the matching records, including outdated records. If you want to do that, I can go and do like this. Okay, go to next. I don't want to consider dummy records. Go to next. Now you can see it will have two outputs, new record output and updated record output. Click on finish. So now we can see that. So it will compare the source data with the historical table data, and if any new record comes, that will be pushed into this, and if any record got updated, that will be pushed into this output. Okay, now here you can see inside this OLDB command, so it will write that for whichever columns we have selected, so it is writing that update query here. Branch ID, employee name, where employee equal to question mark, like this. Okay, now let us go and modify our source data. So this is your source data. Now let us say for employee 4, set employee name is equal to Madan Kumar, okay, comma, branch ID is equal to, let us say some 500, where EMP ID is equal to 4. So for employee 4, I'm updating the employee name and branch ID. Okay, now it should take that change. Okay, not only for one employee, you can apply for multiple employees. Let us say for employee 5 also. So not only for employee 4, for employee 5 also. So let us say his name is Malayalam. No, let me update with some other good name. So let me update with something like Shamik. Okay, now I'm updating only his name for employee 5. So now we can see that. So in the source table, I have updated 2 records. Okay, his name, 4th employee, branch ID is as well as name is changed. For 5th employee, only name is changed. Okay, now I need to do the same changes on the historical table also. Okay, now we can go and execute this, and along with that, let me insert a new record also. Okay, so in the source table, let me insert a new record also. So in the source table, let me insert a new record also. So it will, if any new record is comes, it will push it to the new record output, and if any updated record comes, okay, values. So let us say employee 6 comma, okay, something like Rakesh, okay, comma some date of join. Let us say something like 1/1/2018, okay, comma some salary. So let us say something like 35,000, okay, subsidy. So let us say HYD Hyderabad, okay, some branch ID, okay, some gender, okay, some designation. So let us say software engineer. Okay, some again some column name. Okay, now I have inserted one more record in the source table. So now we can go and see that. So we have set a branch ID and employee name as changing attribute, and remaining are all fixed attributes. So let me go and finish. So now let me go and execute this task. So now we can see we have changing attribute as well as fixed attribute. Okay, so fixed attribute changes are not accepted. For changing attributes, what it will do, it will go and update the existing data, the historical database also. So now we can see that total 6 records are coming from the source. So one is considered as a new record that will be pushed into this, and the updated 2 records are there, no, are pushed into this OLDB command transformation. Inside it, it will be get updated. Those records will get updated. So now we can go and see the historical table. Now we can compare both the historical table and the original table. Okay, now we can see a 6 record, one more record got inserted here, and for employee ID 4, it is updated the name and as well as branch ID. For employee ID 5, it has updated the name. Okay, so this type of changes will come under the SCD type 1. Okay, if any column change is happened, so it is going and updating in the historical table. Those column data, it is not inserting a new record, it is updating the existing record. Okay, and you can see here still date of join, here it is 2016, but here it is 2015 only. So this change is not accepted by the historical table. Okay, so this type of change is called as SCD0. Okay, and in tomorrow class we will see about SCD type 2. When any change happened, I should insert a new record. Okay, so in tomorrow class we'll explain about the SCD type 2 changes.